Now Daniel saw the fourth beast. So if you remember that metal statue that Nebuchadnezzar saw, the fourth thing he saw was the legs of iron. And we know iron is very strong. But this time Daniel saw an animal that he could not compare with any other animal. So fierce was its look. It was made of a mixture of a leopard, a lion, and a bear. Of a lion and a bear and a leopard. It was a mixture of that kind of animal. And in Revelation chapter 13 and verse 2, we compared that John in his vision said, "The beast I saw resembled a leopard, but had feet like those of a bear and a mouth like those of a lion." So in his vision, John sees the same thing. The vision he saw was a beast that looked like a leopard, but had feet of a bear and mouth of a lion. That is, the beast came out of these empires that had already come into the world and will come into the world in the last days. So this beast, the fourth beast, was terrifying and very powerful. And the three beasts that had gone earlier, they were also fierce and destructive. But the fourth beast was very, very powerful. And it had large iron teeth, and it crushed and devoured its victims and trampled underfoot whatever had been left behind. So this beast crushed all the other kingdoms that had gone ahead and merged it into its own empire. The three previous kingdoms destroyed. So what does it do? It takes charge and destroys the previous kingdoms. The Babylonian kingdom, the Medo-Persian Empire, and Alexander's Greek Empire. It tramples them down and tears them apart and establishes its own rule. So it destroys the lion, the bear, and the leopard and makes its own kingdom. So another interesting fact about this beast is in verses 7 and 8 of chapter 7, we find that this beast had 10 horns. Now, horns in the Bible represents rulers or kings. Then Daniel saw another horn coming out near the 10 horns. And it was a little horn. It has an insignificant beginning. But as it grew, it was able to approach 3 of the existing horns. So the little horn came up and destroyed 3 leaders or 3 kings and took its position. And the little horn was noted for its intelligence. It had eyes of a man, and it had a mouth that spoke boastfully. So all these things I'll explain to you step by step. Don't get worried about horns and heads and all that. Those are just the figures of speech. That's how God showed it to Daniel. And now we jump ahead from verse 7 and 8 of chapter 7 to verses 19 to 28. So from verses 21 to 23, 3 additional facts about the little horn are given by Daniel. So the little horn will persecute the saints of the Most High. This leader that is coming after displacing 3 leaders of the Roman Empire here. He's going to persecute the people of God. And who are the people of God? The people who follow Jesus Christ. He's going to persecute them because the horn represents a person or a ruler. In fact, he's said to be a king or a ruler. Later on, chapter Daniel, we see that this little horn is a king or a ruler. So he will overcome whom? He will overcome the nation of Israel and will bring the nation under his authority. So from the Roman Empire, a ruler, a little horn, a small ruler will come who will speak against the Most High God and who will crush the people of God. And how do we know that the Israel nation is being talked about? Because in the beginning it saw that there was great stirring in the Great Sea. And in the Old Testament, the Great Sea refers to the Mediterranean Sea. And which countries on the Mediterranean Sea attached to it? That is the country of Israel. That is referring to the countries of Palestine, Israel, all those along that coast in the Middle East. So our history is concerned with what is going to happen in Israel. And in Revelation chapter 12, verse 13 to 17, we find that this ruler or this little horn will be judged by God, and Israel will no longer be under the rule of the little horn. She will enter into the blessings of the millennium kingdom. So a ruler is coming in Israel who's going to persecute Israel and the Israelites, but not for always. Israel will gain peace in Christ in the millennium kingdom. More about the fourth beast we shall see next time as we proceed slowly so that we will understand it and be aware of what is going to happen in our lifetimes. That was Daniel's future, and now we are in Daniel's future that he is referring to. So it concerns our time. And with the stirring up in the Middle East, in the nation of Israel and its neighbors, all this will come to a climax in your lifetime, God willing, in our lifetime. We'll glorify God.